What's up, everybody? Welcome to a special. This is a special episode of Robeytech because we're doing something very, very different, which we're going to be building inside of this right here, which is called the eBlaztr. You know, really what people's options are for portable gaming setups are laptops, and laptops from their physicality standpoint are limited by things like TGP and TDP just because of the enclosure. It should be fun, and this is going to be a different build because unlike the parts list of old, this one also includes a monitor. I reached out to a bunch of companies and I was really impressed with MSI's 32-inch OLED monitor. So I said, you know what, guys, I'd really love to take a look at your 27-inch. So they sent me their 27URX. This is a 4K QD-OLED. So we're gonna put this on there, 4K 3840 by 2160. The second thing we're doing is we're doing it in this right here. This is called the eBlaztr, and the way that this works is there are these little handles here, and the way I do it is I turn it upside down. But this thing basically packs up into something essentially this size. Now the PC is gonna go, the PC and everything powers up from the front here, and then on the back you can actually see it's got USB 3, USB 2, and then power goes in right here. So it's really, really kind of straightforward in terms of building inside of. So all of our PC parts will be here, and then when you basically get to your location, you just basically go like this, and then you can basically, you have a fully functioning working PC. First and foremost, we're gonna start with this, the Ryzen 7 9800X 3D, mainly because I'm not worried about costs. It's still the best performing gaming CPU on the market. So given I'm trying to make the ultimate LAN rig, this makes a lot of sense, and so that's why this system costs $4,100, including the monitor, by the way. So anyway, beautiful CPU. We're gonna be putting it inside of this, the ROG Strix B850i gaming Wi-Fi. So I want ultimate connectivity with this. I want nothing, no stone unturned, no concerns. This needs to run at all the max stuff. Now for storage, because I'm having fun with this, we're using a 2TB MP700 Pro. This is a Gen 5 NVMe drive with 12,400 megabits per second. That seems fine. We're using a 2TB Gen 5 drive as our primary game in OS drive. And then, you know, just for fun, why not? Let's go ahead and fill both NVMe slots. We're also gonna throw a Gen 4 2TB NVMe in there as well. So we'll have 4 terabytes total, 2 Gen 5, 2 Gen 4, which should be absolutely good. For RAM, I'm using the fastest kit I can. So this is DDR5 6000 mega transfer, 64 gigs, CL28. Very, very nice and fast, tight RAM. This is the CryoRig CU5. This is a small form factor, vapor chamber cooled air cooler with a 180 watt TDP. So it can do 180 watts, which is insane. NVIDIA hooked us up. They sent me an RTX 5080 FE, which is about the best that we can put inside of this. The team over at eBlaztr was like 5090 just because of the way the airflow works. They were a little concerned about that, so 5080. We'll see how the temps are and all that sort of stuff. So we're gonna use an RTX 5080 FE inside of this. And then finally, the fine folks over at Corsair continuing their support, the SF850 from the team over at Corsair, which is gonna give me more than enough power to run all of this stuff, which will be super, super great. So all of this and these two things right here, which is to hide the very gnarly, the ugly red, white, and green cable that's in there. So we're gonna make it look pretty too. But all of this will go inside of the eBlaztr PC, and we will get this built. So that is what's gonna be happening. Let's get all this stuff in and let's start building. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna lift this up, keeping the sticker on. Boom, there it is. Get our NVMe here. Look at that, how fast it's gonna be, so fast. There we go, NVMe in. Flip it over. We got one more in the back here. There's our MP600 there. Okay, here we go. Okay guys, time for the unused, like here it is. This is like the cool cooling unit, right? 180 watt TDP right there. Dude, look at that thing, huh? Okay, here we go. So there's our red pegs. Okay, so that's how that goes on. Let's get our thermal paste on. I'm gonna use Noctua just because I like Noctua. It spreads evenly. Good amount of thermal paste here. We just wanna make sure we got lots of thermal paste. Okay, so this is, it says align it with the screw holes. Here we go. There we go, just like that. Okay, so this is gonna go on like this. So I'm gonna actually put it like this because, there we go. Wow, that's it. That was pretty straightforward. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna grab this. So these come out, and then this pops right off, okay? Slide that in, and then this bottom part comes off, so there's that. This just comes right out. So that's pretty straightforward to get into it. Made, okay, so that's how you take that off. Okay, so now we take out our GPU. This is always the thing about small form factors. They always kind of go in different ways. There it is, guys. So we're gonna put this on first. There we go. And then we're gonna take this like that. There we go. And then that goes like this. Okay, there's our GPU. PSU is gonna go right here, which that's really straightforward. So let's grab our PSU. There it is, beautiful small form factor. Okay, so we're gonna want this up, okay? So luckily, once we do this, we'll be good. So we're just gonna take this and plug this right into here. There we go, there's that. And there, now we have our PSU plugged in, and then we'll have everything ready for our LAN. So now, guys, it is time to do the monitor. That's up. And this is gonna go on here. Okay. Now I gotta find the holes here. Okay, and then those line up right like that. Okay, now our monitor is in. Okay guys, so there it is. The monitor is now officially mounted. So now when I go like this, look at that. Let's grab this. How's the cables look, you think? Clean cable management, I would say. That looks good. Even down here. All right, now, let's get it all put back together though. There we go. There we go, first part. And there we go, build is built. And there it is. That is the PC, 100% built. That is super cool. So yeah, I mean, like breathability wise, I mean, this thing has got air right here and it blows all the way through for the GPU. So the air is actually in a good spot. Plug it in right there. Okay, I'm gonna take my LAN, plug that in right there. There we go. Now all I should have to do is push this button right here. There we go, it is on in the back, so everything here, the GPU is on. I haven't turned the monitor on, but everything is on and spinning. Okay, let's, monitor power works. There it is, we are in and posted. Guys, there it is, a fully functioning gaming PC. Now, the question that everybody says is, well, you know, we're gonna test this new thing here. So let's go to Cinebench. Let's see what this does. Advanced, we'll run 10 minutes. 94, 95. Now again, this is a gaming rig, so it's definitely trying, but it's definitely not, this is thermal throttling the entire time. But the curious thing that I care more about is the gaming temps. Yeah, I could undervolt it as well. I think we're gonna need to undervolt the CPU. That was definitely warm. Now, one of the things I could do, let's just see what game temps are like though. Because I could go to something like a 9700X or something like that, go to something a little bit less warm. That's easy to do, that's an easy pop off, just change the CPU, all that sort of stuff. All right, let's do here. Let's just see what gaming is like though. 70s, 80s is fine for for gaming. And this is gonna be a great test. So there you go, 70, 80, 86, 83. So definitely warmer. And it's always on first load, but for the most part, I'm fine with first load, as long as the temp when it's actually doing its thing. I'm still getting all the performance benefits of an X3D and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so let's go to settings. I'm gonna run it one more time. Whoa, oh, and there it goes. So I wonder if this, so I'm curious what that is. Yeah, see, that's what I'm curious about. Yeah, and that could be, it's not the GPU, it literally could be we're overheating on the CPU. I think given what we're seeing, I think the better thing here to do is to step down in CPU. So I think that's what we'll do is we'll step down in CPU, go to a 9700X or a 9600X, either one of those will be absolutely fine, and then we'll go from there. But I mean, for the most part, like the build looks awesome, it's gonna be awesome. I think there's just a little bit more tweaking to do, and then it'll be good to go. So anyway, guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for sticking with me that long. Our full review on this is still coming up because we still got to take it to QuakeCon, see what the traveling's like, but already really, really excited. I think this is gonna be a pretty spectacular build over at QuakeCon and all that sort of stuff. A little bit finicky, you just gotta get used to it, but once you kind of do and you know it, it definitely makes more sense once you kind of get it done. So, but yeah, all in all, very, very impressed. Huge shout out to eBlaztr, AMD, NVIDIA, MSI, Corsair, and the guys over at CryoRig. All of them for sending me the parts for this build. Without it, this wouldn't be awesome. Anyway, guys, that is it for us. Have an absolutely amazing night, and we will see you guys on the next episode. Bye, guys.